Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Justin, your host of Next Album Please, and today we have Frank Gallagher, not the shameless one, but the real one, okay, from Plague Dead. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on. It truly is an honor. I really dig your show.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, when I found your music, I still don't remember really. I can go back in the messages and see. I think you had asked like, hey, check this out, and I was like, oh, okay, because anybody that comes that takes time out of their day basically to come to me and say, hey, check out my music, I'm gonna do it, because I mean, you took time out of your day to to present it to me, so I might as well take a look. And I'm so glad I did. I am huge into Americana, folk, indie style music. I like everything, but that is mostly what I like. And,
no kidding. That's great.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people think, oh, you're such a metalhead. You have a lot of metal guys on here, and it's like, yeah, I do, and I like metal too, but Americana and folk is just so authentic and real.
Absolutely. And don't be, there's a pretty authentic connection between metal and folk and Americana too. I mean, I remember going to see I'm a huge Mountain Goats fan.
Oh, nice.
And I went to see, I've gone to see him a lot. And John Darnielle came out and he had like this Black Widow shredder guitar. And he's a huge metal fan. And he was like just stoked. He had it in a little stand and he played one song on it. He was like, there's a huge connection between that kind of thing. And there's an overlap in the fan base as well. It's hard. Might seem, counterintuitive at first, but it's absolutely there.
Yeah. And some bands actually are taking that and using it in their music too. A lot of Americana and folk bands as well. Bridge City Sinners, they use a lot of metal influences.
Love those guys.
I know, and I just put out a video, and Libby said "sup homie" on my post, and I about died. I was like, oh my god. And I actually get to
They're
talk.
Incredibly talented.
Yes, I get to talk to the guitarist Michael pretty soon, coming up. So that episode's going to be coming out. I haven't recorded it yet, but once it does, I cannot wait for that one as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
But it reminds me, there's one thing, speaking of the metal thing too, I've decided, and I've been playing with this, I'm going to do it because I think it's really fascinating. It just could be fun. But I'm going to do Deck the Halls reimagined and reinterpreted in the context of War Pigs.
Oh.
Black Sabbath.
Okay.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
That would be so
it's
amazing.
gonna rock, dude. And I'm gonna do it on my 12-string acoustic with a foot drum, and it's gonna shred.
Are you gonna either record it or are you gonna video record it?
I haven't got that far yet, but whatever. I probably won't get it done before Christmas, but it's just going to be so cool. I think it will transcend Christmas.
Yes, it will. Christmas will continue on.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
I'll probably
awesome.
do both. But I'll figure it out. I literally just had this idea yesterday. So
see, and I love like Christmas albums and stuff like that, especially from different genres, because I don't know. There's just something about it. I mean, obviously, Christmas makes everybody a little bit more happier, So
it does.
And to hear the music played in different genres, it's actually kind of cool. So I like to sit back and listen to them. So is Plague Dad just you by yourself, or is it kind of like a collective thing?
Well, for right now, it's evolving. I mean, for the record, the 7-inch that I just put out, it's just me because I'm in isolation. I'm sitting here in my little studio in my attic, which is where I'm at right now.
Nice.
That stuff was recorded right here. That's
nice.
My vinyl collection behind me.
I know. I was looking at it.
That's part of it. Yeah. There's a lot of records.
Wow.
There. That's about half of them.
Oh wow.
So it's been sort of by default just me so far, but I have a lot of friends who are musicians, again across genres. One who's in a band called Pigboat, which is a stoner metal band. Those guys are freaking awesome. I'm gonna cover one of their tunes as well. So I'm gonna get him to do vocals on the song. I have a friend, Miguel, who I used to be in a band with back in San Francisco, who is just an amazing drummer, and I want to get him in to do some tracks. I mean, so there's a posse there, and there's a group of people that I hope to pull in. I just haven't had that opportunity yet because of the circumstances that we all are in right now.
Yeah,
so.
It's kind of, and I've said it many times, it's kind of put a damper on everything. So, but the fact that, musicians get to write during this time, it is almost the perfect time to write. So
absolutely,
that's awesome. So
absolutely.
and you've been writing, correct? Well, I mean, I assume you write all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm writing things all the time. The notes section on my phone, I use that quite a bit. The the voice memos, I use that to record riff ideas or melodies that occur to me. So yeah, I mean, I'm just jotting things down. I used to carry a notebook in my pocket. Now I carry a goddamn phone.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea. So yeah, no, there's stuff all the time. I've got maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 originals now, and then I find myself drawn to interesting covers that I think I could add something to, as opposed to just doing because people might like them.
Yeah.
I try to add something to it, and what I try to do is forge a connection with people. That's really why I play, and that's why I write, and that's what I want covers to do as well.
Yeah.
Because there's a commonality there for a lot of people. They're a touchstone of certain points and memories in their lives, and they're evocative, and I want to tap into that, but it also expand upon that a little bit.
Nice. And a lot of bands, or at least acoustic artists and solo artists, when they do these covers, they do tend to transcend the cover as well. There's a couple covers of the song "Hurt." A lot of people think it's Johnny Cash, but it's actually Nine Inch Nails.
Exactly.
And that song, I don't care who's covered it. It's every single version has been beautiful because the song's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So that would be, I would love to hear your covers because your voice is distinctive. It's very,
it is.
I like
it's
it.
Not,
I love it. I love it. It's pure Americana. It really is. If anybody out there is a fan, people watching and people listening of Americana or folk, or even just acoustic style playing, you're going to love the album, which
I really appreciate that, man. That means so much. And
yeah.
to be honest, I gave up giving a shit years ago.
Oh yeah.
I seriously, I do what I do because it has meaning to me, and I try to forge that connection with other people. And if I can, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't have meaning for me and it's not fun, literally fun for me, then I'm not doing it. And I ultimately I do it for me because it's particularly now when I just, Jesus Christ, I got to do something to keep from going fucking crazy.
Exactly. Everybody's going fucking nuts right now, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know what?
Absolutely.
That's absolutely, interesting to me that you say that, because I had a podcast yesterday. It's yet to be posted, with a band called Shadow People. And now when this one comes out, that one would already have been out already. And he said the same thing. He said, I stopped giving a shit. Yep. And that's when the music started getting better and started getting more formed to their taste. And their newest album that came out was, to me, amazing, absolutely amazing. And I
will check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's loud, really, really loud metal, and it's
good.
A lot of people, would get kind of turned off by that, but I think it's because people get lost in the pre-existing formalities when it comes to metal. But if you just listen to the beats, listen to the guitars, stuff like that, vocals, you can really get lost into the song instead of the other way. So, but going back to like what you said, it's crazy how once you stop giving a shit, everything gets better. And I think that can kind of go over towards life too. You need to stop thinking whatever, like, who gives a shit what this person thinks of you? You need to just do what makes you happy. And that it's crazy that I'm hearing that more, because we're not used to that. We're not a lot of people.
No, we've all been raised and educated and dare I say, programmed, if you will, to be part of the system. Yeah. To give a shit, to get that job, to or get that raise, to be a good worker, as Billy Bragg said.
Yep.
And fuck that. Yes, I've done that, but it's I need there's more to life than that. There
Definitely.
absolutely is, and you have to find it. And for me, it's playing this music and writing this music. And there's no place to play right now. I can't do shows. So until things got really bad, I was busking. I was literally going out into the streets of Portland, Maine, and just playing for 2 hours, just sitting on a rock in a park downtown. Portland is great, and it's a very walkable city. So I would go down to where there's a lot of foot traffic, And what was interesting to me is that people started digging what I was doing. People would I'd be there every Friday and Saturday night, and I'd have people stop by. I'd get crowds occasionally. One night, somebody dropped $100 into my case.
Wow!
I couldn't fucking believe that. I was like, holy shit! I sold some records. I'd bring a few records. People would buy records. I mean, it was a thing, and people were just looking for that connection.
Yeah,
there was, and somebody just sitting there playing an acoustic guitar and singing a song that they wrote from their heart and meaning it. People liked it.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, maybe I'm not too bad. Maybe I'm not fucking this up.
Maybe I am doing something right.
Exactly.
And we are our own worst critics. Individual people are their own worst critic, especially musicians. I mean, we almost 100% of the time hate what we come up with, but then love it at the same time. So it's weird. How did you decide on Plague Dad as a name? Like that, it's so interesting to me because it's just an off the wall name that just rolls off the tongue.
Well, that was, I'm going to be honest, that was part of it. But the other part of it is that it's real. It is a distinct component of who I am right now. I am a dad. I have 3 kids, and the idea, well, not the idea, but the act of being a father and being a dad has changed fundamentally in the past 9 months. It's just, and when it first happened, when things, when things went sideways hard back in March, that's when a lot of the songs that are on the record were written. And so I was just wrestling with that idea, and it just came to me. I mean, that's what I am. I'm a plague dad. I'm trying to raise my kids in this time of pestilence.
Well, you know what? It came to your benefit because I thought the name is cool. Like, it's so cool. and a lot of people, when they look at album covers, what is the first thing they see? The art and the name. It's like the first thing.
Yeah. And I got to be honest, I like the art that I got too, because I hired an artist to do it. Right on. Yeah, I like to draw, but I suck at drawing.
You drew this?
No, I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I hired somebody to do it. So I can draw it well enough to sketch a crude idea of what I wanted. Then I sent it to an artist that I hired and paid, because I believe artists should be paid.
Yeah.
And he came up with that. And I was like, fuck, that's it. So now I got T-shirts, I got bandanas, I got trucker hats. It's on the record cover. It's on this, I printed a few CDs. I mean, it's on stickers. People who hate the music like the image, like the art. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
and like you said too, it pops, and
it does.
And I'm looking at it right now, and it's like it's just something about it too, and it also like represents you as well. Like you can see your face.
It absolutely is. In fact, I'm not wearing those glasses now.
Yeah.
But
that's
and
awesome.
You know what?
I like it.
What I'm thinking about doing, I'm just, again, another idea that I'm toying with is as I look at the art, it's a character. Mm-hmm. So I'm heavy into comics. I love comics.
Nice.
And I'm thinking I might make this a comic book character. What if I could produce a Plague Dad comic? I don't know what yet, but the idea of it as a recurring character and the name it seems like it's a waiting to happen.
That's interesting because I guess you could call them melodic rock, melodic metal, or I don't really think they're all that metal, but Coheed and Cambria, they are very big.
Yeah.
He's the lead vocalist. Claudio has his own comic book. Back in the day, Cannibal Corpse had their own,
Absolutely.
And then the hip hop artist B.O.B. he has his.
Oh yeah.
So it works for people, but it only works for certain type of people. I think you could pull this off. That would be cool.
Well, the idea came to me because, again, another friend of mine in another band here in Portland. You may have heard of these guys called Covered in Bees.
Yes, actually, I have.
Yeah, yeah. So the guy who's the drummer in that band, whose last name, by the way, is also Gallagher, owns the coolest comic book store in town here,
Nice.
called Coast City Comics. So the idea, they are now producing their own comic book. They've got 2 issues out from a Kickstarter project.
Oh, sweet.
So it's more of a skateboard. It's not a music band. It's not a band thing. It's a skateboard thing. But he's just he runs the shop. He's a musician. There's sort of 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the idea that it seems like this to me, like that might work, and it's a way to connect with people who may not dig the music but might dig the comic.
Well, and it gives the listener also something more to get into. You not only have the music, you have this other side piece that goes with it. And if people are really enjoying it, they're gonna hop right onto that comic book too, because they're gonna be like, well, I got the vinyl. Which I need to pick up. I didn't even know.
I'll send you one.
You have some left?
Oh shit! Yeah, I printed 250. I think I've sold about. I think I've sold about 70 so far, to be honest, which is better than I didn't give it. To be honest, I didn't give a shit if I sold any. Oh. I kickstarted the thing. I was like, I wrote the songs and I played them for a few people, and people liked them.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fuck, let's see if I can raise some money. So I started a Kickstarter project, and I was like, shit, if I can raise half the dough, I'll put in the other half. So I put out $1,000. I asked for 1,000 and came back with way past that, almost the entire amount. There was a huge response. So I printed the 250, sent those off, and I've sold some more, since busking and just, but there's a Bandcamp channel, Bandcamp, Plague Dad, just search Plague. I also have a website, plaguedad.com, so you can get to everything through that.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I'm going to actually start blogging, and where I'm going to start promoting the shit. You're going to see yourself in there pretty soon too, because I'm a little behind, but it's all about creating that sense of community for me. So you'll see some stuff there too.
And that's, man, it's sweet that you're going to be doing that too, because that's the whole thing. No matter what genre we're in, if people just understood that we're a community, and it doesn't even have to stop at music. Art in general is art, whether it's it's endless possibilities. So if we were all got together as a community, it would just grow stronger and stronger, and people would be better human beings as well too. So that's awesome that you're doing that, man. You are what is that jack of all trades, man. You really are. And you can't say you're not the master of the music part, at least, because you have to acknowledge that, man, because
I appreciate that. I really do.
The guys that are listening and watching, if you go on Bandcamp, there's 2 tracks on there, Rust and
Plague Song,
and both of them are just really well written, vocally.
Thank you.
Instrument wise, and the lyrics are just really well. So you write really well, too.
Before I started playing, I've been a writer for a long time. In fact, my first career, I was a reporter.
Oh, okay.
I was a journalist for a long time. I actually wrote professionally, and I got out of journalism now because, well, it's a dead end field now.
Honestly,
Jesus, it's painful.
Yeah. We could go with 100 miles in the wrong direction if we start talking about that. No, indeed. So, I'm looking. I've been writing for a long time, and the words, the music, they all have to work together. And I try to spend some time, crafting that. But I wanted to say too, there's a third song on the vinyl. There's this bonus track on the record. Oh, nice.
That is not digitally released. You're only going to get it if you get the record, because it's a cover song. Because I like to do cover songs that are meaningful. And this is a cover song by a band out of San Francisco called the Donner Party.
Oh,
they were on Pitch a Tent Records, which was the Camper Van Beethoven's label. Mm-hmm. And they have a song on their debut record called Sickness, which was just so goddamn appropriate for this day and age that I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to learn that. And it worked, so I recorded it. And I just didn't feel comfortable putting out digitally, and they wanted a little something special for the folks who buy the vinyl too.
Yeah, definitely. You want to give them that little extra bonus, like hey,
Yeah.
you did this for me, here's this for you kind of thing.
Right.
That's
And
awesome.
it's a 7-inch, it's a 7-inch record, which right there just shows you I have no business sense at all. Because that's what I wanted to produce was a 7-inch, because I dig vinyl. I'm really into vinyl. And what I really like about 7-inch records is that you can't ignore them. Yeah. If you put one on, you're going to have to take it off again in 3 minutes, and you're going to have to flip it over, and then you're going to have to get another one. And you cannot ignore the music. You have to participate in it. And a 7-inch really sort of drives that, whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah.
Well, so that's really attractive to me.
That in the digital age, it's almost like that as well, because EPs and singles are so popular now. Right. That it's basically the digital age of 7-inch, and you're right. You have to, if you want to listen to that again, you better walk right over to your computer, restart that thing.
Exactly.
And that's awesome though, that you give you're basically making your listeners participate. And,
I'm trying to. Yeah. I'm thinking about going with a 10-inch for the next release.
Oh, okay. Or are you gonna do full length maybe on your next release?
I don't know, man. I haven't gotten that far down the road yet. I'm looking at, because one of the things I learned while busking is what songs. It gave me an opportunity to figure out what songs work and what songs don't work, and what songs could be reworked to be better. And so there's probably 3 or 4 that are ready, that I feel are ready. There's probably 3 or 4 that need to be reworked, and then I have 3 or 4 that are just stubs right now. That are maybe 8 measures, a bar, they're a riff, they're a melody, but they have that potential. They could become something. So depends what I got ready when I got the time. I'm going to block out 2 weeks sometime soon, and I'm just going to rip it out.
Nice.
Because I record that. That's what I got. I record right here in this room.
Yeah.
There, this is the studio. This is where the magic happens, brother.
That's perfect.
There's the instruments. I don't know if you can see the instruments.
Oh yeah.
I play, banjo, 12-string, mandolin. The fiddle's not there. I got a mid-70s Strat that I'm going to go bust out pretty soon too. And so yeah, I'm going to rip out. I got 2 weeks. I'm going to record what I can, and put out what deserves to be put out. And we'll see how long.
That's pretty cool though, because you're giving yourself a timeline, and basically it's like what's in there is what's in there, and that's
exactly. Yeah,
and
you have to.
Wow, because then you're gonna just prolong, and then you might not release an album for another year or two, and
right.
And
I don't have that. I don't have one thing. That this circumstance, the pandemic, everything has told me is that I could be dead next month.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time I have.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how much time they have. And I used to, have a little memento mori ring, a little skull ring that I would wear just to sort of keep that idea in my head. But I'll tell you, I don't need to wear that shit anymore because you can't escape it now.
Yeah.
It's, and that's kind of what's driving this drove the 7-inch that I did produce, and is what's continuing to drive it now, because arguably shit is worse now than it was when I first recorded things.
Yeah, it is, and it's because March is always going to go down. My fiance, she helps me run the podcast, and unfortunately her birthday is on March 13th. The day that everything shut down, and she goes, "Why is it that that's what my birthday?" And it sucks. It's that March has been. We're coming up almost on a year pretty soon, in a couple months, and it's just crazy. But
it's like being born on 9/11.
Yeah, basically.
It is. It's actually worse. There's a 9/11. There's a 9/11 every day in this country, and people, policymakers in Washington don't seem to give a shit.
Nah. I feel the same way. And that's the thing too, is like I try my hardest not to get too political and stuff, especially like on for the podcast reasons and stuff. But you can't escape it. It is a shit show basically. The United States is a shit show, and when you have other countries out there that are already open bars, people are playing shows again. Yeah, there may be a little bit of social distancing and stuff like that, maybe a crowd control. But right now, I don't know how it is in Maine, but California has been...
it's been locked down. Absolutely.
Yeah,
we're not there yet. We're not there yet, but it's funny you bring up the idea of the places they're doing shows. I saw a picture. I think I saw it online. I can't remember where I saw it. It might have been in the newspaper, but there was you heard this sort of heavy the hair metal band. They're a parody almost. Steel Panther.
Oh yeah, Steel Panther.
So they played a show in Texas like 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
And hundreds of people showed up, and they're like, I think it was Texas. I don't want it was, but they played a show like 2 weeks ago, and all these anti-maskers showed up, and by God, they were just happy to be there. And fuck you, it's my freedoms, blah blah blah. And all I could think of was, so you're ready to die to see a Steel Panther show? Nah, not me, dude. I don't know if there's any band I would kill myself to see. Literally, that's what that was the calculation these people made. Yeah, going to see Steel Panther is worth my life. Absolutely, that's fucking pathetic.
And that's the thing too, is my fiance and I, we always wear our masks anywhere we go. We always do our part, to stay safe and stuff like that. And it's funny, that we went to Target she went to Target the other day, and someone was ranting and raving because they didn't want to wear a mask, and it's like
anti-masker.
To me, it's just like, just do it. And this will all be over with, and hopefully by next year, I'm really hoping that by next year everything opens up, because that's the thing is music. Like I want to go to a show so bad until I know though that cases are down to like nothing almost. I won't go. Well, for one, my fiance would never let me go. She'd be like, no. She goes, I'll kill you before they will.
Absolutely.
So, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I miss it so bad. In fact, I have downstairs in the kitchen on the bulletin board a pair of tickets to a Lost Dog street band. I don't know if you know those guys at all.
No, I haven't heard them. I'll check them out.
Whoa, really good. Holy shit. One of my favorite bands. They're brilliant. Nice. At Lost Dog street band. So they were supposed to play here in Portland on March 23rd of last year. And of course, the show got canceled. I totally get it. I'm holding the tickets. Yeah. So they rescheduled it for like that got canceled, and 2 months ago, the venue shut down where it was supposed to be, because the live music industry is just fucking fading before our eyes. It's just devastated. And so now I'm still got the tickets though, because, they're going to play here again.
Yeah,
and
they will.
I don't care if they do. Yes, they will. I just want to hold on. Those tickets they're almost like a talisman for me now. They're a touch point. I want to hold on to those.
Yeah, it's a look into the future, basically. When you look at it, you're like, I'm gonna see you soon, like that.
A look into the future if things go right. Days to the past of how things used to be if shit goes sideways.
Yeah, definitely. We're pretty known for that. So
yeah.
So
we'll see.
You've been playing music for quite some time. Like myself, I'm 31. I've been playing since, I want to say, probably like 11, 12 years old.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
What inspires you to make music? Like when did you start doing all this?
Yeah. Well, I started playing violin when I was 8 years old.
Nice.
And I had a talent for it. I was okay at it. And I was the fat kid in school, but I was a fucking good fiddle player, in that school. Big fish, small pond kind of thing. But that was what I could do. So I just sort of rolled with it, and I loved it. I played all through high school, all the way through classical all the time. And then when I finished high school, I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston.
Nice.
And studied jazz fiddle there with a guy named Matt Glazer, who was an amazing teacher. He did the music for Ken Burns' Civil War.
Oh, wow.
And he's done a bunch of other stuff. He's just an amazing player. I learned a shitload from him. And then I switched to guitar.
I'm going to learn all this, but I'm moving on.
Yeah, well, I've met up with some guys at Berklee who needed a guitar player. And I was like, fuck, I could do that. So these guys were from San Francisco. So we were in Boston trying to bang in our head. This is, I'm dating myself here, but this is when the Rat was still around. Oh. And, the Boston music scene at that point was just very difficult to break into if you weren't from Boston. And none of us were from Boston. So we were banging our heads against the wall. Finally, we were like, fuck it, we're leaving town. So 3 of these dudes were from San Francisco. So we just bought a school bus and drove it back to San Francisco. And I lived in it next to Golden Gate Park for about 9 months until I got my shit together and got an apartment. But we started gigging around San Francisco, and people started to like it. We actually, this is when Sub Pop was emerging.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So we actually played with Nirvana. We played with Seaweed. We played with Love Battery. We played with all those dudes coming through town. And it was, it was cool. And we put out a 12-inch record. Scouts Honor was the name of the band. Record sold like shit. Didn't do anything, but we toured it up and down, the West Coast. And I started to question it when we got to Portland, and we were playing at a joint that's no longer there called the Satyricon. And we finished the show, and we went to get the $200 or whatever the hell it was we were promised, because we needed to get to Seattle the next day. And the dude's like, the door wasn't that good tonight. How about I just give you some heroin? How about we pay you in smack?
Oh, shit.
And I was like, no, dude.
We're good on that.
We can't put that in the gas tank. We got to get to Seattle.
I mean, you can, but
yeah.
I don't know if you're
So at that point, I was like, yeah, you know what? This just isn't that fun anymore. And then another, we got back to town, and we were going to open for a Helmet. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we were that genre. We were thrash. We played a lot of shows with Primus. We had a bass player that gonged, did that. And we were supposed to play a show with Helmet, and the club owner called me up and said, you know what? These guys are on Interscope now, and they're going to send us they got to pick the opener. So you're off the bill. I was like, you know what? This is just not fun anymore. So at that point, I decided to go back to school, and that's when I got into journalism and became a reporter, and wound back up in San Francisco eventually, covering politics out there. Wow. So I've been playing forever. It's just a matter of how, what the like I said, these days I've stopped giving a shit. So it's becoming more important to me, and I'm doing more of it, and I'm putting it out.
Did you ever get to meet like Les and the boys at all from Primus?
Oh yeah, wow. Absolutely.
That's like a dream.
We played with Mr. Bungle in Chico.
Oh, wow.
California, which was, holy shit, what a show. We played, we played with people.
That's incredible.
We played with the Goo Goo Dolls in San Francisco in a bar on Haight Street. We opened for Nirvana at the CW Saloon on a rainy Tuesday night when they were touring Bleach, and there were 3 people in the audience. And if I had a nickel now for every person who says they were there, I wouldn't be working, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Because there was nobody there, dude. There was 3 people, and they had a rough night, let's put it that way.
Yeah, Nirvana's I get a lot of flack for certain bands that I didn't care for too much. Like I wasn't big. Now Primus I freaking love, but I think that's just because the stigma that they have. I just love it. But like I wasn't huge into Nirvana. I'm not huge into Metallica or Megadeth, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when I
Slayer.
say that,
Slayer.
Yeah, Slayer. I would listen to Slayer more than I would listen to those guys, and I'm still not even into them. So it's a weird thing. But my thing was Pink Floyd.
Sure, yeah,
Kiss,
absolutely.
And then I would just like kind of come down and listen to softer stuff like Bread and stuff like that. My dad is the reason why
right on.
I've been into music, and when he passed away when I was 10, and when
to hear that.
When he passed away, he left me his Kiss collection.
Yes.
And
right on.
And I think that was my first like introduction to rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Korn was my first thing for metal, but listening to that stuff and then like hearing stories like of yours, like going back and playing with those bands, those were the best/worst times to be an artist, because best by in my opinion, I don't know, because I never got to play then, but it's best to me because I think it's the nostalgia part and the fact that there were real shows, raw shows, but worse because I think you guys probably would have even blew up even more faster as well if the internet was around. Because
absolutely, yeah, I know it is. And part of it is, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it builds you.
It does, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. And shit happens it just happens. You got to roll with it.
Yep.
Like you just got to roll with it. But it was. It informs what I do now, because that sense of visceral immediacy that we were at those live shows. That's what I'm trying to forge now.
Yeah.
And it's just me with an acoustic guitar on the street corner at the moment.
Honestly, that's the best music. Street music is the best. When I first got together with my fiance, I kind of told her, like, when we would go to Monterey here in California, I would tell her, hold up, because there's somebody playing, and then that was the good thing about her, is she would sit and watch and listen with me. And it's just that I always use the two words together, authentic and raw. Like,
sure,
feeling and emotion that you get, the connection that you get from a street performer is by far better than any concert you can go to.
It can be. It can suck too.
It can also suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can also suck. You can also get the guys that are just like total assholes, or even the fans that are total assholes as well.
Exactly. You
get people that walk by and throw garbage in their stuff, and it's like, come on, but we live with assholes every day.
Yeah. But just the ability to connect with somebody and just to see people enjoy what you're doing, it's awesome. There's nothing better as far as that's what I really enjoy about it, is for at least 2 minutes the shitty world got a little better for somebody.
Yeah. And that's really the best way to look at it too. And it makes you feel, makes you feel good too.
Absolutely.
And that's like a big reason why I built this is I want the artist to come on and go, wow, you're interested in my stuff. I love hearing that, by the way. Like, and so far everybody that's come on has said that. They're like, wow, you like our stuff? It's like, why is that a surprise? You're good.
That was my reaction. Dude, that was totally my reaction. That said, some of the stuff that you've been playing, like, I've totally dug. Like the piece you did with the Sad Boy, I listened to that show.
Yeah.
And I never heard of that dude before. It sounded like he was from the Bay Area too.
Oh, it's she. She's a she, and she.
See,
yeah,
I missed that. I must have missed that part.
She's.
But it was great stuff.
Yeah, her story was just so intense and real.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is she has all these fans that don't know really who she is. So when I brought her on, I told her, I said, hey, I want people to know you. If you're going to be an artist, and this is just a general thing, if you're going to be an artist, you need to expect that people are going to want to know who you are. And and nobody ever wants to interview the lower guys, because why?
Right.
Why would you want to do that?
God's work here, man. You really are.
Thank you.
That's exactly what people say.
Yeah. It's like, why would I want to interview you? You only have 1,000 followers, and that's being genuinely nice.
Oh,
because I've had people on here that only had 100 followers.
Oh, sure.
But their music speaks volumes. And
I think I'm in that category.
Oh, I think you have way more than that. What do you have?
I don't know. To be honest, I haven't checked. I mean, Instagram, I don't know, 50?
You're
shit.
right.
Yeah, I'm totally in that category.
But the thing is your music.
I don't work it that hard though either. I got to be clear. I don't spend a lot of time on it. I should probably spend more. But I spend all my day looking at a computer. It's hard for me to do it when I have free time.
It is, and I honestly don't think it's a necessary thing, because you're not trying to grow a internet-based audience. You're trying to grow a real audience, and with that, you need to have that face-to-face connection.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right now, it's kind of impossible to do unless you're doing like you're doing on the street. But yeah.
That said, I do want to figure out the live stream thing though, because
that'd be fun.
I think that. There's a channel. Have you seen these guys? Noon Chorus. Have you heard of these guys?
Noon Chorus.
It's a service. It's a live stream service. But I think it's more like you can record there. But it's a way for artists to do a live set, to do their show, and people subscribe to it. You can just per show. You can like buy tickets to the show. The artists set the prices for the tickets, and then it doesn't cost anything up front. you just the noon chorus, the people who run the site take a percentage of whatever you sell. And you could set the ticket prices. And I've seen a lot of locals, a lot of smaller acts starting to do things like that. And I'm looking, I don't know if that's a solution for me, because to be honest, I don't know if I could sell 10 tickets. Probably not. But what are the other options, that represent?
You should be selling 70 because you sold 70 of those vinyl records.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of those folks I sold in person, I don't have their email address because I'm a shitty marketer.
So you gotta start leaving like your calling card, your little Instagram or Facebook or whatever you use.
Oh, it's on there.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's in the record. There's an insert, but there's even a free download. You get the vinyl, you get a free download.
Oh, nice.
So,
see,
that's in there
people
too.
that are watching and listening, go on Plague Dad's Bandcamp now. So, but that's cool.
The records are cool, but the trucker hats are what I really like.
Those trucker hats
are
cool.
Awesome.
I got to show my fiance because that's all I wear. I don't even have one near me, but all I wear is those trucker hats because I have a couple of the flat snapback ones, but it's the trucker hats that I like the most.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome. So hopefully you get on that. I mean, maybe later on, maybe even after this next record comes out, you can do that. Hopefully we're not even having to rely on that, but you never know.
No, I'm going to do a single or two first because I got a couple other songs that I know are ready to go that I really want to record.
Nice.
So I'll just bust out some. It's going to take, I could probably do them in 2 or 3 days. I mean, that's how I have to figure it out. I have to block the time off.
You ever heard of DistroKid?
I have, and that's what I use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I tried finding your stuff on Spotify, and it wasn't on there. So I didn't know if you.
No, I screwed. I got it. It's there, but I screwed it up the first time. I uploaded the wrong files.
Oh,
I got to go back and I uploaded the unmastered files, which was a total mistake. So I got to go back and upload the mastered files because it needs an MP3, not a way. That's the tech shit.
Yeah.
It needs a different kind of file.
Nice.
And So, but it's going to get there. But see, that's the other part of this too, is that I'm learning all this as I go along.
Oh yeah.
Because as I try to get it out, it's like, okay, well, what are the options? What are the tools? How do I use them? So I got to figure all that. Recording it and playing it is one thing, but now, there's the whole distribution. And it's a first world problem, to be sure. And it's a hell of a lot of fun figuring it out.
It's part of the journey,
process.
Exactly. The process or journey, however you want to word it, it's a definite thing that you have to deal with. And I'm in the same boat. For the longest time, I thought my stuff was on Apple Podcasts, and for a while there, it was on there, but you couldn't subscribe because I never confirmed my email. And people were like, "Hey, I've been trying to subscribe to you, and I can't." And I'm getting all these emails, and I'm like, well, maybe it's just them. No, it was me.
Well, so where else? Like I listened to it. I think it was on Spotify. I think I was listening. I think that's how. So where else can I get it? Like I same thing. I tried to subscribe to Apple and I got server can't be found. That was the message I got back. That was the thing yesterday.
Oh yeah. I don't know why Apple's doing that, but
I looked on Stitcher too, and I didn't find it there. So where else can we find? Where else? Like if I want to send it around to people, how can I send it to them? What can
let me look here because I have it set up to where Spotify is my most successful one. So Spotify is definitely where I typically put things. Let's see if I go to episodes here. See, it's not even showing me. Huh. It should
there were 8 episodes on iTunes that I couldn't download. Yeah. But I know you have more than 8 shows now. I mean, Jesus.
Now I do. What happened was I was with oh my goodness, what are they called? Was it Bitcast? I think it was called Bitcast or something. I was with another company, and they were charging me, which I found out from Sounds and in Creation and a couple other artists that came on that also run a podcast. They were telling me, dude, it's free. You don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
Like you can do it, and that was with Anchor. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So I was going to cancel, but before I could cancel, that other company charged me twice. And then I was like, hey, you guys charged me twice. I got super rude emails back from them. I couldn't believe it was how rude it was. They were like, well, you should have told us and you should have done this. And I was like, I'm a customer. for one.
Right.
I shouldn't be told to do anything. I should, if we want to use that customer is always right term, which, hopefully I was in the right, but
Yeah.
I told them, I said, look, you double charged me. And they still haven't fixed it. So we put it in as a fraudulent charge because they double charged. And they got really upset that we did that and told, basically not to use the program ever again. And I was like, fine, it's fine with me because I'm not going to. So I switched over to Anchor, and so you could find my podcast on Anchor. Anchor is a good one. Pocket Casts is another one. And then Spotify and then Apple, but for some reason you just can't subscribe to Apple. I don't know what's going on with that.
But I just want to. I'm just gonna grab all the links I can.
And the link that's in my description is the main one. For Spotify, and it's
good to know
because they did that, because they went and messed up all that stuff. My old 8 episodes are still on Spotify as Next Album Please. I had to, and I wasn't allowed to upload any more Next Album Please, so they stole my name as another thing. I can't even get it off. It was like a big old drama thing. So I said, you know what?
Wow.
I said, keep it. Keep Next Album Please, just the words. So now I'm NAP Podcasts and Reviews. It was the best decision I made because now I have like the merch, so they have the NAP here. And then I also have the Spotify link on the back. It's when I'm walking down the street, if someone's like, "Hey, what is that?" Hey, just pull out your camera, take a picture of my back. I won't mind.
Absolutely. No, that's cool. Well, because I just want to capture the link so I can spread it around.
Thank you so much. Definitely. And I've been showing your music to, I have a good source of friends that listen to a lot of Americana, a lot of folk, and a lot of acoustic stuff. Like Iron and Wine is probably one of the best. Who's another one? There was another one. He came out with the song Cocaine and Abel. Amigo the Devil.
Yep.
Amazing artist, so we listen to stuff like that, and so when I heard yours, I was like, oh yeah. So I do need to pick up that vinyl because I need to add that because I have a
Bandcamp
little one. Yes, definitely going on Bandcamp and getting that. So
I think I've got it up for $7 now, but I'm gonna drop it to $5. So it's $5 because that was back with Discord with Minor Threat and shit. That was $5. But that was a 12-inch back then. This is 50 years. It's later. Now it's $5 for the 7-inch.
Yeah, well,
but it's still $5.
$5, then too was like what I would probably say like $11 now or something like that. Right. So,
but it's it's a good round number. That's what I charge when I'm busking. So
nice. Well, it's thoughtful too because you're a lot of these groups and stuff. I call them the new generation of bands and artists. They come out forcefully trying to say, "Hey, $20 for our CD." Back in the day, like no, like early 2000s,
absolutely.
90s, you're no way you're gonna sell a record for $20.
Hell no. No. I know that from a sad experience, but yeah, you're right.
So it's like you gotta kind of play the curve a little bit, but
absolutely.
Man, we it's really interesting talking with you, and I try to keep my podcasts under under an hour and stuff.
We've got a long time.
I hate that though, so because sometimes I'm like, man, I want to keep going, but
I know, yeah. There's always another day.
Oh, definitely, and I definitely want to get you back on, especially when the next record comes out.
For sure.
So
much appreciated.
We already talked about because this is basically the time that I'd let you kind of say where to find you. So, but you said it earlier. So Bandcamp.
Yeah. Yeah,
PlagueDad.com
is the website. Yeah, either one of those is fine. And then if you're on Instagram, it's the same name on Instagram. I think there's a Twitter as well. But again, I don't spend a lot of time. You know what I do? I use it to discover other music. Yeah. Really, that's what I'm doing. Is I'm trying to follow other people and figure out what other folks are doing other places.
Yeah.
So I'm more likely to follow somebody. But I'm on there too.
Awesome. So definitely, guys, go and check them out. Plague Dad, just how it's spelled exactly how it's said.
Yeah.
It's the most authentic thing you're going to hear from 2020 because not very many folk and Americana bands came out with a lot of new stuff this year, which was, kind of disappointing, but it's very authentic, very raw, very, just humble music. And you got a humble gentleman right here, that living proof, that music is a representation of yourself. And so great.
Just if I could leave it, there's one parting thought. I submitted it. I'm trying to get it out. So I went on the Submit Hub, I think it was, Submit Hub. It submitted to like 50 blogs. And I did some research. I mean, this wasn't just a scatter shot. I was, this is Americana, this is folk. These are people who ostensibly want to hear this kind of shit. So I submitted it, to 50 of them. 48 of them said, you know what? It's too raw. It's too raw. And that was the raw. And the songs are too short. And so, but 2 of them added it, and 2 of them, and so I got onto 2 playlists, and that might be how you got it. But I was like, yeah, goddamn right, it's too raw. And I tell people it's like 3 parts Minutemen and 2 parts Stanley Brothers.
Okay.
Because I'm going for that sort of 80s, that Minutemen punk rock ethos through a bluegrass filter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. That's what I like.
And it doesn't matter if that album had 1 song on it that was 30 seconds long. If it was good, it's good, So it's a shame that people, too raw. I've never even
too raw.
I wouldn't.
I'll forward you some of the feedback I got. It's hilarious. I'm going to do a spreadsheet.
Oh yeah,
because they all are like too raw, too short. Some were both. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But at least it's consistent.
That's the thing, though. It's like, sorry to say, but it's like, how can people shit on other people's art? Like, that's basically shitting. To me, it is, because there is stuff out there that I won't listen to. And there is stuff out there that people will send me, and they're so excited about it. And I have the unfortunate task of telling them, hey, I don't really think it's that good. And it's not that you're not good. It's the fact that this right here isn't my thing.
Exactly.
And that's not how people explain things anymore. Now people are like, oh God, what is this? Like, get this away from me. And it's like, oh good, you're turning into mainstream media. That's great. Applaud yourself,
Oh yeah, no, we're it's remarkable. Yeah, we could talk about media all day long. That's but, I don't want. Yeah. Anyway, that was just my final. If you need a shorthand, and that's what I use, it's like it's 3 parts Minutemen, 2 parts Stanley Brothers, because that's where the influences are. That's sort of a thumbnail characterization of what you're going to hear if you drop the needle on that 7-inch record.
Well, I guarantee you guys that you won't be disappointed. So definitely take the time. Get the album and listen to Plague Dad. So it was fun, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure. I'm honored to be here, really.
I'm going to keep you on even after I press stop record to talk to you for just a second. And then,
absolutely.
So until next time, you guys, thank you again. My name is Justin, the host of Next Album Please. And we'll see you next episode. See ya. I can't stay.